Good morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross-stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy, and a little bit of life thrown in. So today is FlossTube number 281. It is Sunday, May 4th. I want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like what you see. Want to hit like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If this is not your first time finding my channel, if you're one of my regular viewers, thank you so much for coming back and spending this time with me. I really enjoy doing my video every week, and then, you know, having comments and seeing how many people watched it. It's just a fun thing that brightens my week every week. So thank you so much for coming in. So I don't have any really big updates for you this week. It's been somewhat normal week, busy at work, and everybody's trying to get healthy again. You know, my roommate is doing great, kind of forcing herself to rest a little bit more than she likes to, but other than that, she's recovering wonderfully. She's actually going out today with her son for kind of an early Mother's Day brunch thing, so she's all getting ready. So if you hear any noises in the background, she's like down the hall, you know, getting beautiful for her son. And the other big, you know, thing that's going on in my house is that I definitely have a adolescent cat now. Not a kitten anymore. She's definitely an adolescent. I read an article this week on, you know, the behavior of the adolescent cat from, you know, ages, you know, 8 months to 2 years. And the title of the article was "You Can't Make Me." And yeah, that's basically what she's doing. She goes from being an absolute love bug to being very defiant, and she's a little bit too smart for her own good and for our good. She just basically now can go wherever she wants to go because she figures these things out. I had a lovely little, you know, baby gate with a cat door in it across my bedroom. It's basically ineffective now because she learned how to go over the gate, regardless of whether or not the cat door is open or not. So there's no point in having it because if she wants out of the room, she's out of the room. I mean, I can still obviously close the door and lock her in here, but we're not doing that. We're just letting her, you know, have her run. She's not really hurting anything. She's just is doing what she wants to do. It does hurt my feelings a little bit because she's not snuggling with me at night right now. She's wandering and sleeping on the chair that she likes in the living room, and she tends to come in my room and get snuggly at 6 o'clock in the morning when I have to get up at 6:30. So it's like, thanks a lot, cat. But she's definitely exploring her world and testing boundaries and all that kind of stuff, which can be frustrating, can also be extremely funny to watch. So yeah, she's just, she doesn't want to do things the easy way. She wants to do things, you know, the exciting way. Even like getting up on my bed. I have a little footstool thing that's kind of by my bed. And because the way the bed is, the mattress kept sliding off, and it was driving me crazy to have the mattress like pull out. So I put, it's actually like a rail, like a safety rail kind of thing, but I put it at the foot of the bed. It's also good for me, like when I get up in the morning, my knees are stiff, so it's a good thing to hold on to. But basically I put it there to keep the mattress in. But anyway, so there's like a rail at the lower end of my bed. Well, she can perfectly easily just jump on the bed, but she doesn't want to do that. What she wants to do is jump onto the footstool and then onto the railing, which is like this wide, right? And balance like, you know, an elephant on a circus ball, before she gets on the bed, because that's more exciting. So she's doing things like that. You know, she's still pretty good with my crafting. She doesn't bug yarn. I have yarn everywhere in my room. I have it like on display and stuff. She doesn't bother that yarn. The only time she's like really into yarn is when I'm actually crocheting and the yarn is moving, and then she wants to attack it. and play with it. I'm trying to teach her to be gentle when she gets a little bit too aggressive, like with my hands or something. And she's learning. She, I think she's starting to understand when I say no, gentle, she kind of stops. So she's learning. As I said, she's really smart. So I think it's gonna be fine, but it's gonna be a wild ride for the next year and a half, I think, with her. But yeah, she's a love. It's really funny. She has toys. She has mounds and mounds of toys, and she carries them around the house. She gives them to Sammy. She leaves them where he tears them up. But we had to laugh because she has a little stuffed fish. It looks kind of like Nemo. It was in the shower. She keeps bringing that toy into the shower. Why? I don't know. Does she know a fish belongs in the shower, or is it just a coincidence? You decide. But yeah, she's definitely a little love, but she's going to be a challenge. She's going to be a challenge. I'm sure sometime during this video she'll probably jump up here to see what I'm doing, or maybe not, because you never know. So I guess that's about it. I mean, there's nothing really exciting that is happening in the world right now. I think I have to go to the doctor next week because I think I have a UTI, which is not fun. I've been kind of treating it over the weekend, drinking lots of cranberry juice and water, and taking a little bit of that medicine that you can only take for 2 days. But after I didn't take a dose this morning, so we'll see if the symptoms come back tomorrow or tonight. Then I'm gonna have to go to the doctor and get an antibiotic. But maybe I was able to flush it out this weekend without having to get drugs, but we'll see. Let's see. Plans for today. I'm going to be making my very favorite pasta carbonara. Lorraine's going out to brunch, as I said, and she doesn't totally love that dish, and I 100% love that dish, so I figured it was a good chance for me to make it and scarf it down for lunch, and yeah, and I don't have to share. And I think I'm gonna be making some jam comfort cookies too. So those are plans for today. Although I'm ahead of myself. Plans are at the end of my video. All right, so let's go into what I worked on this week. I did, craft pretty much every day, but again, I think my amount of cross stitch that I'm doing every day is getting smaller, so I'm not showing as much each week, but that could change too. It's all what it is, but I'm happy with what I've gotten accomplished, and I'm enjoying myself, so that's the main thing, right? So crochet, I did work on 2 projects this week, and actually they're both like new starts. So the first thing is I have this pillow, which is the ugliest pillow in the world, right? It's ugly, it's stained, it's just, but it's like a big beanbag, and it's like one of my favorite pillows as far as use, because it's really good as like a backrest. It's good if I'm stitching. Sometimes I'll especially if I'm stitching something big, I'll put it like on my chest when I'm like kind of laying down, and then I can prop stuff on it. So yeah, it's really good in that way. But it is ugly as sin. So what I decided to do was make a cover for it, a crochet cover. Now I have 2 cakes of this Joann's Big Twist Prism yarn that I got, and you've seen this before because I was using it to make that knot pillow, but I tore that out because this is the color Rainbow Quartz. Now, as we know, Joann's is no more, and Big Twist is no more for right now, although it may be coming back through Hirschner's, the brand Big Twist, but who knows if they're going to have this prism yarn. This yarn, to me, this colorway is so pretty, and it's really soft. It's what is it? Content 100% acrylic, but it's just, I really like this yarn. And the use that I was using it for this other knot pillow, you had to hold it with 2 other strands of yarn, and I felt kind of like the beauty of this yarn was getting minimized because of the other yarn with it. So although I still want to make a knot pillow, I can do that with, you know, just some plain whatever yarn. I don't have to use this because I only have 2 cakes of this and I may not ever be able to get it again. So I wanted to use this for something that really highlighted the yarn. Does that make sense? Anyway, so I decided to use this to make the cover for the pillow that I love and have on my bed all the time and use, but is ugly. So I have made 2 granny circles. I think they're really pretty. Using this prism yarn. And okay, so these are the right size to cover the front and back. And then what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna figure out what I want to do for the side, for the side. And I don't know yet. I don't know if I should just do like double crochet, or try and do like, I know you can do like granny like stitch, like just straight. So I might have to look that up. I don't know yet. And I also, the other thing that I'm thinking is that I should do it and like attach it, but leave like, you know, like leave a section like this that is open, and then maybe just have it like a flap that I can put a couple buttons on so that I can actually take the cover off and wash it if I needed to. So the 2 circles that I did, again, this one, and then this one. So, I mean, of course, because it's a variegated yarn, they came out kind of different, but I just really, really think they're pretty. And just, yeah. I just looked up a YouTube video on how to do a granny circle and basically just kind of followed that that video as to where to do like the increases to make the circle lay nice. But I really, really like them, and they're so soft. It's just gonna make this pillow 100 times better, you know, because not only will it be this good, nice beanbag pillow, but it will also be nice and soft and pretty on the outside, which is what it's lacking now. So that job I have to do is to figure out how to do the edges or the sides. You know, and the easiest thing would probably just be double crochet or whatever, but you know, I want to do something that's going to look pretty with the granny circles on the top. So yeah, I don't know that I want to do anything that's too tightly woven. I don't know. So that's something that I have to think about. But that was a fun project, and it actually was really quick. I did one of the circles, I think last Sunday, and then the other circle took like 2 evenings. So, and then the other thing that I started, and I just started this yesterday. First of all, I have to say a big happy birthday to my sister-in-law Stacy. I was a complete lame-o and totally like spaced on her birthday. Like I was thinking about last week, like, oh, Stacy's birthday is next week. I have to say thank you, happy birthday, and you know, and greet her and stuff. And I just completely spaced on it for 2 days. It took me 2 days to realize that I missed her birthday. So I'm sorry, Stacy, and I do love you, and I hope you had a happy birthday and everything. But I have this yarn that I have actually 4 cakes of it, and I don't think I'm gonna need that much, but every time I've purchased it, it is a lion brand mandala, which you guys know I love. Here, I should probably take it out of this plastic because that doesn't show it off. But every time I've gotten a cake of this, I thank Stacy because she really loves the color pink. And this is a lion brand mandala in Cupid. And I mean, it's all the pinks, all the really pretty pinks. It's just, yeah, it just screams Stacy to me. So every time I've gotten it, I thought I need to make something for her with this. And I, you know, I've been thinking about it. And I've been really enjoying my Canyon Moon Rising blanket that I'm working on, which is this. I don't think I showed it to you guys last week, so I might as well show it this week so you can see the progress that I've made on it. I didn't really work on this week, but anyway, so this pattern is called Canyon Moon Rising by Susan Kennedy, Pretty Peaceful. You guys know, if you've watched me for any length of time, that a lot of my projects that I choose to crochet are from Susan Kennedy, just because I just like how she does stuff, you know. And I like that she doesn't use expensive materials for the most part. It's just, I just like how she does things. So anyway, so this is the Canyon Moon Rising blanket, which uses 2 different colorways. One for the main, like the circle-y part, and one for the diamond part. But this was actually a second pattern that she created. Her first one was called Canyon Moon. And that one just used one color with an accent, like edge. So like the diamondy parts on the Canyon Moon pattern are not filled in. They're just, it's like an outline. And then the main color fills in this as well. And I thought that that might be a nice thing to do for Stacy. But then, you know, I don't know that she would get a ton of use out of a little lap blanket or whatever. So what I decided to do, because I was asking her and she said like she doesn't have a scarf for next winter. So what I decided to do was take basically, it's going to be a little bit wider than this because I want it to be 2 full of the diamond things. So 1 full circle, and then there'll be the 2 half circles on the sides, which will make like, and longer than this one is. So it's going to make like a nice like wrap, but it's a thin enough fabric that it can kind of be scrunched up to make a scarf as well. So I am using the mandala. So I think it's not going to take more than 1, maybe 2 of this. I have 4. The other 2, I'm going to have to figure out something else. And I chose these 2 because they're matching. Like, the one thing about the mandala is they can be wound differently. I mean, I think all stripy yarns, that can be the case. And the other 2 have like the yellow, not the yellow, the creamy pink color kind of in the middle. And I don't want to have to cut the cake. So this one started, this one and the one I'm using both started with this pink and have the creamy white pink towards the edge. So if I have to go into a second cake, it will be the same. It will start in the same color that it's supposed to. So then the question was what do I use as an accent color? Because you need to use a solid. And, oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Lorraine was on the phone, so I didn't want her conversation to be recorded or whatever. Anyway, so the thing that was the next decision to make as far as this wrap for Stacy was what the accent color would be. And I had a black, a red heart black, and I had a Caron Simply Soft gray and a Caron Simply Soft brown. So I looked at those, I asked Lorraine's opinion, and we decided on the gray. The black looked really good with the pink too, but the only concern that I had with the black, first of all, it was more of like a stark difference. But the other thing is because of the way this fabric is constructed, you're carrying the second color through the entire thing, and I thought the black would like stand out in a way that maybe wasn't as attractive. So I chose the Simply Soft gray, this sort of, it's called feathered gray. And the Simply Soft is a little bit thicker than the mandala. Yeah, this is listed as a 4, this is listed as a 3. I don't think it's a problem. I mean, I think it actually looks kind of good if it like stands out a little bit. So, yeah, so this is what I started. So this is doubled, so you can see it's gonna be nice and long to be a wrap. And I think it's gonna be really pretty. Now, I have noticed with this pattern is it takes a little while for the pattern to like kind of show up and look as pretty as it looks, basically. So it's not quite there yet. When you can start kind of seeing the circles, then it makes it pop. Oh, here, this is the bigger. Yeah. So I think it's going to be really pretty. Hopefully she'll like it. You know, it's always hard when you make stuff for people. So I don't know, you can kind of see the gray kind of showing through, which I like the look, but I think the gray is better than having the black show through. So but I think it's going to be really pretty. So I'm probably going to work on this a little bit today because I'm anxious to see how it's going to look. And it's not like for a specific, it's not like for her birthday or for the holidays or whatever, because when I make stuff for people like this, I'm not good about making things to a deadline. So usually I just make them and then I send them when I'm done. There's Miss Delilah. I don't know if any of you guys will be able to see close up if she comes over here, but I did change her collar for May. If you've been watching me, you know I got a little set of collars for her from Amazon. They're all glittery and there's 8 of them. I wish there was 12 and 12 different colors, but there's 8. And so I've been changing her collar every month just to suit the month. And I decided to go with a pink for May for flowers and spring. And I think in June I might put yellow on her. Yeah. And then July is either going to be blue or red. I don't know yet. And August, I don't know. I think, I have a rose purple, like a purpley pink rose color magenta that I think is really pretty. So I might put that on her for August for my birthday month. And yeah, the one color that I don't have that I wish I did is orange for October, but I do have purple. So she probably will be wearing purple again for October. Anyway, she was really funny when I changed her collar too, because she wanted the other one, excuse me. She wanted to play with the one I took off. And I said no when I put it back in its little bag, and I put the bag in the cubbies behind me right here. She was having none of it. She has never bothered anything in those cubbies, but she wanted that collar and she would not get out of the cubbies. She pulled them out. We had a little battle of the wills for like half an hour with that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I started getting that tickle, and so now that I've figured out how to use the pause, it's very nice that I can pause it and take a cough drop and come back. Okay, so I think I went over all of my crochet with you, right? I had 2 projects. Now on to the whips, crochet whips. I worked on 3 things this week. So 2 of them you have not seen in quite a while, and then 1 that you have. So I did work on Current Mood, which is from the spring 2024, just CrossStitch magazine, that so many people were working on. Probably everybody else is finished. I don't know. I'm not. I'm doing this on a, this is 20 count or 22? No, this is a 22 count. It's hard anger. With Sulky blendables. So I finished the color and now it's just the black and cream. So that is coming along nicely. Now, the idea that I had for this, I've told you guys, I'm going to put 2 little earrings on here to represent Delilah and Baggy, because I was working on this, you know, when Baggy passed, and then I got Delilah, and I just thought it would be a nice little tribute to both of them, you know, to him being such a wonderful thing in my life, and losing him, which was hard, but then getting Delilah, which is kind of like, you know, the rainbow after the storm. And I just think that it just fits really well with this whole thing. And even doing the rain in like the rainbow colors is kind of like, yeah, rain can be sad, but it can also be healing, you know. It just in my mind all worked. But the problem is I'm having trouble finding earrings that look the way they want them to look and that are not huge. I got those black ones, black outline ones, which are so cute, but so big. And they would have been like this big. And I mean, Baggy was a big cat, but he wasn't like a puma. So this is the ones I got to represent Delilah originally. And you know, I'm gonna go ahead and just like stick them on the fabric so that you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. And I took out the big black ones. Actually, I wore them this week, so I won't be able to kind of show you those, but trust me when I say they were huge. Sorry. So then I got these 2 more, which I'm putting on right now, which are adorable, but again, I think they're too big, and I don't know. I'm not sure that they go together. The one representing Delilah is a little bit more cartoony, and yeah, and the difference in size is not enough. So I went back. I think I'm going to use the little one that I got originally to represent Delilah for Delilah. And then I think I'm going to use this other one that I just got to represent Baggy. And I think they'll work. They're not 100% the same style, but I think it'll work. Okay, so this is the original one that I got to represent Delilah, which I think is just adorable and will work. Then I got these 2. This really looks like Baggy, but again, they're way too big, and I just don't know that they go together. Now, obviously they're earrings. I can wear them as earrings, and they're all very inexpensive earrings. So I don't feel like I wasted money because I will still be able to use them. But then I got these, and I think that this one next to that one will work really well to represent Baggy and Delilah. And they're both kind of the same level of cartoony. And the little heart on his tail does not bother me as far as, I mean, it's kind of like representing that he's always going to be in my heart. So those are the 2 that I think I'm going to use. Oops. Obviously, I'm going to take it off of the finding and just sew it on down here. So yeah. So those are the ones, and these other ones, again, very, very, very cute earrings, but I don't know, they don't fit the vibe that I wanted, I think, for the project. But like I said, I will still be able to wear them, and as earrings, so it will all be good. But anyway, so I do want to get that finished sooner rather than later. so that I can then frame it up. And I think I'm going to use this frame. I think it will fit. And either that one or I have, if it fits in here, actually, I will use this frame. Which it might, actually. Yeah, it might. So I think I'm using this one now that I said it. I got this frame quite a while ago, and I really like it. But it's small, and it's been hard to find something to fit. But I think this is going to fit just perfectly in it. So that will be exciting. So once I get that done, yeah. So, and I'm happy with this the final earring, cat choice, whatever. I think it's going to look good. So anyway, hopefully I'll get that done sooner rather than later and be able to show you guys. Okay, so I worked on that. Next, I worked on my Star Trek project, which I'm doing for my brother. This is, I think I started this like 2019, 2020. So it's getting older. I don't work on it that much each year, but you know, as I said, when I'm making something as a gift for somebody or with somebody in mind, I don't necessarily put deadlines on myself. I don't enjoy it when I do that. So I just am working on it in little dribs and drabs. So this, I'm kind of like, I mean, this is a chart that I purchased, but it's actually 4 charts that I'm putting together. It's from Fangirl Stitches on Instagram. Honestly, I have no idea if it's still existing. I mean, I got these from Etsy. And I got 4 of that look like this, the Star Trek casts for the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. Now, I know that there's been other series after that, but those are the 4 that, you know, my brother and I watched together growing up and as young adults and everything, and those are the ones that are really Star Trek to me. So, I mean, I know Enterprise and then Lower Decks and all these other shows are good, but these 4 are the ones that really speak to me. So, I got all 4, and I'm putting them on top of each other. They all are like this, where it says Star Trek, The Next Generation, or Star Trek, and then the title of the show. So what I actually did is I put Star Trek at the top, and then the words underneath. I think the original series was not actually on the chart. It didn't say that. It just said Star Trek under it. So I charted that part myself. And actually, I got a lot done this week. I finished the words under Next Generation. And I filled in 2 shirts and the lips. So they're coming along. Now, the one big change I made, or, you know, style change that I made on these is I changed the eyes. The way they were charted, they were just like X's on the face, and I didn't like them. I didn't like the way the X ran into the hair. I thought it looked weird. I tried to do French knots, and those looked really weird because I just couldn't make them even. So I put beads. And it's nice with the beads because I can change the color of the beads depending on the character. So like Dr. McCoy has blue eyes, so they're blue beads, and I'll be able to use, I think, green eyes for Riker and yellow eyes for Data. But I think my brother's gonna like it when I finally get it done. I mean, I think it's really cute as I work on it. And yeah, so technically this should go away, but now I'm looking and it's like, oh, I kind of want to work on that some more. So and And then last but not least, because it is May and I'm switching themes, I pulled out Practically Perfect, which is actually my New Year, New Start from Bothy Threads. This adorable peacock. Oh, Delilah's playing in her tunnel. If you hear like crunchy noises, that's what that is. And I did quite a bit more on the peacock. And I'm just doing, this is a kit, I'm just doing it with all the kit, call for kit stuff. When I hold it up, it doesn't look as good. Now, sometimes it's funny when you hold up stuff in the camera, it looks better than when it looks in real life. I think that this looks better in real life than it does in the camera. The camera is pulling up, making it look more like X's and less like a homogeneous thing. But anyway, I'm not really to the cute part yet. I'm just the tummy area, which is not the cute. It's got a cute face. It's got cute feathers, so I'm not at that part yet. So that's what I worked on this week. So like I said, I didn't get maybe a ton of stuff done, but I crafted every day. I am mixing in the crochet more with the cross stitch, which naturally is going to mean that I'm doing less cross stitch because there's only so many hours that I can work on stuff. Hi, Miss Girl. She's staring at me. You want to come up here? You want to come up here and say hi? Yeah? Come on. Come on. There she is. There she is. Come here. Just for a sec. Just for a sec. Say hi to the camera. Just for a second. Let everybody see how pretty you are. So pretty. New collar. New pinky collar. Okay. Go off. Do your thing. Okay. Haul. So I already showed you the earrings that I got for for Current Mood. And oh, and I got I showed you guys last week this scarf that came from Paris that my boss brought back for me. So I got this rod thing. It's extendable. This side. So I don't know if you can see there's a break there, or not a break, but it does go in and out, so it can be the right length. And it came with a cord, and it came with these two things that, you have to take the end off to put them on. And I think I'm gonna not use the cord. I'm just gonna use these and hang them using a 3M hook, and then it should go into this thing. It's just a matter at this point of deciding where I'm gonna hang it. But I think it's really, really, really pretty. So I want it as a hanging. So yeah, I got that rod. It was not very expensive. Don't remember exactly how much, but I know it was less than $20. I'm thinking it was more like 12 or 13. Then the other thing that I got this week is Lorraine had a friend come by twice right after she got out of the hospital to kind of just spend the day with her. And Karina, the first day, she was like, oh, I see, you're a crafter. And she asked me a question about sergers because she sews and she has a serger and she was having, I don't know, a problem with it. And I'm like, I know nothing about that. Sorry. But she also said, she goes, I have a couple of like embroidery kits and I don't do that. Would you like them? And I'm like, sure. I said, I could either work on them myself or, give them away or whatever. So she, next time she came, she left them for me. This one I think is cute. I might actually work on this. This is a Joy Sunday kit, which is Joy Sunday one of those companies that copies and steals? I really have no idea. I know it's a Chinese company. But this is two little turtles. This is actually neat. No, this is CrossStitch. All right, let's get this, hold on. Let's get this label right in the middle. Oh, you know what this is? This is a stamped CrossStitch. That's what it is. That's the weird thing. I've never done a stamped CrossStitch or a pre-printed, so this might be fun to do as a different thing. So it's 2 turtles. So I've never done this stamped cross-stitch stuff. But it's weird, it's got these grid lines. How do you get rid of those? I don't know, I'll have to see if you wash it or something afterwards. I know I've seen lots of other cross-stitchers who do have stamped ones that they, or printed or whatever you want to call it, that they are working on. So we'll see. I mean, maybe it'll be fun. You know, it'll be nice to not have to think and look at a chart and stuff. So this might be something to do when I'm, I don't know, feeling tired. This is my feather, fur, and flame. Turtles don't really fit in any of there, but we will incorporate turtles into feathers, furs, and flames. Okay, and then the other thing was she gave me these 3 kits, and they came with these hoops. And so, honestly, I don't know, I'm gonna have to take a look at the hoops if they are hoops that I would probably use. So I might just keep the hoops because they're a good size. But I don't know if I would use the other one or do the other kits. They're embroidery kits and they're all kind of, well, you know, like this is a Hamsa, which is okay, but it's a, that's one, that's the second, and that's the third. I mean, they're pretty, but they're not necessarily my style of thing. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep these or if I'm going to give them away, if I'm going to give them away on my channel, if I'm going to take them to a giveaway table or something like that. I don't know. But the hoops I'll probably keep. Yeah. The hoops I'll probably keep because I can get use out of these. Okay, and then plans for the coming week, month, whatever. Since it is May, I'm switching my theme to fur, feathers, and flames, which is all of my animal type projects and dragons and birds and such, which I have a lot. Now I put my theme charts for the month on a Tiny Decisions wheel, and I realized that I was overly ambitious for myself, at least for this year. Like I had 12 or 13 projects on for May, and I'm just not stitching that much. And I realized, personality wise, whatever, when I put too many things on the wheel like that, it makes me feel stressed as opposed to relaxed and having fun. So I went through and I took out like half of them. If the reality is that I don't hit everything this year that I wanted to hit, so be it. They'll be there for me next year, you know. I think that I have to be realistic about what I can accomplish and what my purpose is. I'm not stitching for a job, right? I'm doing it for my own relaxation and well-being, and so putting parameters that make me feel stressed is opposite of the point of why I do this. So what I need to do is just take it easy. And I didn't write down exactly which ones I kept, on my list, but you know, I'll try and pull them. I didn't pull them yet. I will maybe pull them this week and show you. Do I have? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if I wanted a new start. If I have a new start on there, I don't know. But I know I'm going to still work on the bird for Tracy. I might actually keep Current Mood because since I'm putting the cats on it, it doesn't really fit into the theme except for the fact that I'm putting my cats on it and I want to get it finished, so I might keep that. In my rotation, my Little Mermaid, I might keep out in my rotation just because I'm enjoying working on it so much, even though it doesn't fit the theme either. Maybe I'll put it away for this month and pull it back out when I'm working on mermaids anyway in June and July. But I have so many animal projects. I've got my little Snapdragon, and which I don't know, it was on the list. I may have taken it off the list. I have Dandelions, which I know I took off the list. I have lots. I have lots of animal projects. I have Practically Perfect. I have my Teresa Winsler Peacock. I know I took that one off the list because that one is not my favorite to work on right now. And yeah, so now I said I took it off the list, and which means I'm not going to have it like out as easily accessible. It's more on my whip wall, which is behind you. But in fact, what I might do is I might pause this video and then take my phone off of the tripod and turn it so you guys can see my whip wall. That might be kind of cool. That's because you guys never see my new digs in full. And now that I can pause, so I will do that in a second. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, so just because I don't actually pull it and stick it here where it's more easily accessible does not mean that I can't work on it at all. It just means that, you know, it's not as easy to grab, basically. So let me pause you for a second. I'm going to take the phone off of the stand, and so I can show you. Hold on. Okay, so so this is your normal view, right? Behind me, you know, I've got all kinds of cross stitch stuff, but let me go slowly around the room so that you guys can see. So, of course, I'm not gonna be able to see. So there we've got Delilah's whole setup. She has a whole cat tower, my bed. I have my flowers hung up. I don't have a lot of my cross stitch up yet. Please ignore any mess. I have stuff all over my dresser, so of course that's gonna be highly messy, but you can see over my closet door I did hang up some of my projects, and I've got my yarn over there. I'm hoping everything is in camera, but I don't know if it is. And then over here, yeah, so this is all whips and charts and all that kind of stuff. So that is my setup. Hopefully everything was kind of in camera. I don't know if it was because I can't see it when I'm moving the thing around. But anyway, yeah, that's about it for today. I am, as I said, going to make myself some pasta carbonara. Very excited about that. That's one of those things, I make it and man, I can wolf that stuff down like there is no tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of cooking this afternoon, and then maybe a little bit of organization, try and clean off that dresser that you just saw was a complete mess. How embarrassing, but whatever. And other than that, I'm going to crochet and I'm going to stitch. And back at work tomorrow, we'll see if I have to call and make a doctor's appointment. I'm hoping not, but if I do, I do. And yeah, that's it. Did you guys see when I was showing you right here? This is a picture of my mom and me when I was a baby. So that's a nice memory. you know, Mother's Day coming up next week. I'm going to be thinking about my mom a lot, in a happy way. But I hope you guys have a great week going forward. Next week when I come on, it will be Mother's Day, but if I don't see you before then, see you. Happy Mother's Day, and I hope you guys all have a great week. Until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.